Hello everybody and welcome back to Super Metroid YPR and a very interesting Botwoon room. This room is interesting and slightly horrifying because of this setup. So, obviously you notice it's a wreck. There's sand or spikes. The first thing to note is that sand is annoying. The other thing to note is you have to live in the annoying or you're going to be spiked to death. The other thing being there is no real safe space for Botwoon, which really I don't have an issue with that. It's a boss, it should be more difficult, but this is a bit more on the level of Kraid, I would call it, more so than anything else. Like, it's interesting, it's different, but it's kind of, sort of annoying at the same time. I don't know, it's a room like that is kind of weird. And this room, I was looking for I'm unsure if this little dot on the map is just a leftover, because there was an energy tank in this room originally. So that's partly why I'm looking around, because I know there was a PLM in here. That was an item at one point. I don't know if there still is an item in this room, because I don't find it. So I don't know if that's just a leftover, or if there's just an item hiding off screen, which is no fun, but anyway. And this is a good little refill thing before Draygon, because Draygon, I didn't really notice until after I defeated him, but Draygon is excessively powerful in terms of the damage he/she deals. And you'll see that. But Draygon's also a little bit more interesting. Like, Draygon is like a real boss to me. It's because it's made more deadly just from the amount of damage it deals. So it's really, you have to defeat it before it mauls you to death. And this room is slightly interesting. Now, we can't do anything with this part here that I'm in right now. It's actually where we come out of later. And this item is interesting to get. Like, very interesting. And that over there, I'm assuming leads to another item off to the right, because this room has more to the right. But I never got back there, so. But this item, this little guy is... This big roly-poly monster is interesting. It's stuck in this 2x2 until you get on its hitbox or touch its hitbox. I don't know why it decides all of a sudden that then it can go through the thing when it couldn't before. I don't understand it. So basically, this is like the second enemy, or item, I mean. I had it there, but you have to KO ball through this thing. Just like that to get the super. And the super is very valuable because, again, Draygon is super strong. But it's a much better fight than Crocomire. That Crocomire is just out of this world ridiculous. Draygon, there are changes, but they're, I think, funner, more interesting changes. Draygon might be the best boss in this whole hack. To me, anyway. Everybody has their own different taste. So, anyway, jumping up sand falls. Again, sand, super annoying. In fact, if you really need space, I would recommend trying to find out where the sand is so you can use that space for something else instead. And random missile hanging out in the pillar. More Hex need stuff like this. Actually, oops. Knocking stuff all over my desk. I guess all hacks actually have random items hidden in walls. And the save would be a very good thing before this boss fight. I actually almost died without realizing it when I was playing. And I was hoping for something else back here. Because in the original it is just that, an energy refill. So, but sometimes hacks will change those rooms. So you have to check, and half hacks a lot, especially. So getting to Draygon is no different. Again, there's just item change spot behind crumble grapple block. Totally not suspicious at all. Very not suspicious. And now Draygon. It's very interesting changes to both. I'm just going to refer to it as it because some call it a he, some call it a she. But anyway, you notice missiles don't really affect these turrets much, and when they shoot really fast. But super missiles still deal with these turrets, one thing. And they really shoot fast. And this crab is solid for some reason. I guess that would be one complaint, is that crab. So there's Draygon. Super fast turrets, super fast gunk. That's how this goes. And if you notice, my energy's already way down. That would be because Draygon deals an energy tank's worth of damage for every hit. An energy tank for every hit. I'm getting real. I did not realize this when I was playing. I was just going up. I was off in my own little world because Draygon's normally Draygon, so. But if I had one complaint, it would be that crab randomly being solid on the floor. Otherwise, this is actually a really good boss fight just because it's actually more of a threat to... It's actually more like a boss instead of just a large enemy that blocks your path. Because my personal preference is bosses should be bosses because they're incredibly difficult. Maybe not incredibly difficult, but much more difficult than a regular enemy. And Plasma Beam is our reward, which brings up an interesting... Oh yeah, there's a little secret out of here that I decided to check despite there not being any hint. There's a little pathway through here. And I can't actually do anything back here until I have Wave Beam. But that's going along with what I was going to mention about the beam progression in this hack is different because you would figure I would have Wave Beam by now. Or at least before Plasma. And generally, if there's a beam that comes after Plasma, it's normally Spazer, just as a makeup in case you didn't find the incredibly well hidden Plasma Beam. So sometimes the hacker will just give you Spazer in your path, just say, oh, just in case you missed Plasma Beam, here, have Spazer, sort of a makeup. And this room is kind of where I noticed my energy was getting slightly lower than I expected. But you need to destroy these pirates, I'm assuming, because I didn't go back and check, to get this missile tank behind the door. And there's just random pipes you go through. But you kind of need Wave Beam for that. So yeah, it's an interesting and different beam progression, just because Wave Beam is later. There's a pirate. Why those pirates are crammed in little boxes where they can't really do anything And in the event of an exploding planet, they're really not in a good position to escape. I don't see how that helps the space pirate plans for galactic domination. I have no idea, but they're there. And if you remember that one little thing I showed earlier, this is where you pop out. Hey, look at that. So yeah, I actually have to give credit for this hack too. Actually placing wave beam after plasma. It's definitely unusual for a hack to do that. I wish more hacks had a bit more variety with their beam progression, because you can pretty much almost always count on the same beam progression throughout almost every hack. So pretty much always count on getting charge early, then ice or wave is your next upgrade, maybe spacer. The spacer often more optional, and then plasma is always last. So this went more fusion-y and made wave beam last. And the reason it's last is actually because it's sort of blocking off the final area, which we are actually very, very close to. We've defeated 3 major bosses, which leaves 1 left before terrain. But the interesting terrain was blocked off by the 100% door. So there is some interest to that. It's like, yeah, I was asking myself, do I really have to get every item to beat this hack? Just to get to terrain and finish it. And I had been talking with some people in IRC who didn't actually play the hack, but they were looking at it and smile. And they couldn't see any way through the escape. Or like through terrain. They were just, it looked like a dead end at one point. Or multiple points, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure they knew what they were. That person knew what he was talking about. So that is also going through my mind. Just like, well, what is going on? Is it even beatable? Whatever's going on. See, at this point, the end of the hack is the most... finishing the hack is the most interesting thing about it. And this room... If you remember... Oh yeah. Got it. Yeah. Destroy these worms. But this grapple thing, I don't know what is causing this. That is just me pressing grapple. Pressing the fire button for grapple, and it launched me up like that. I've never seen that before. I have no idea what causes it. It's very weird. I really have no idea what is going on with it. But anyway, there was a room in the wreck ship we went to earlier where there was an item I couldn't get earlier. This room is how you get to it. It requires a super short charge. Yeah, speed boost blocks in this thing. And your speed boost area is this. So it requires a super short charge. And actually, I get very fortunate and get it way earlier than I really should have. I don't know the exact details of how to do it, but you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm kind of stutter stepping. And that's how you get the charge so quickly. I believe the technical reasons are because the game only reads Samus like animation or position at certain frames. And so by stutter stepping or whatever, you're not covering as much distance, but you're still advancing the frames to the right spot. So the game increments the speed she has until you get up to the Shine Spark, and then you can charge it in a shorter area. I believe that is the correct technical explanation, but I could be wrong. But basically it's achieved by stutter stepping and without use of slowdowns or whatever, it's really, there's no, we have to be some crazy good person to get that consistently. You have to be like one of those amazing speedrunners. So now that Meridia is finished, we defeated yet another final boss. We defeated another final boss. I didn't know there were multiple final bosses in a game. Now that that's finished, we have Crocomire to do. Crocomire is next on the list, and there's some things with him I just don't even understand. Not only is his room a pain, but I have Plasma Beam, and you'll see coming up that Plasma Beam, he changed something with Crocomire where it's like he ignores some hits, because you will see some shots I hit Crocomire with that do nothing to him. They don't even knock him back one step, so I don't know what was going on with that. But anyway, that's it for this YPR video, so thanks for watching, and we will see you for the next one where we actually get to and finish off Crocomire.